Can you understand it? I told you I don't get it, and especially after this, I thought maybe the racist Obama video might do it. I thought my African American might do it. I thought the black countries are shithole countries that might do it. I thought that the discriminating against black people for housing, I thought that might do it. I thought the Central Park, the exonerated five, that might do it. I thought, higher taxes for poor people and fewer services for people who are part of the underserved communities, I thought that might do it. But not even taking, black voting, the ability to have black representation away, that's not doing it. So I don't know if it's part of a cult. I don't know if it's self-hatred. I don't understand that mentality. I don't know. And
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the We-On-Loc Nation channel show. So let's get right into it. What they were talking about right there was what we were talking about a little bit earlier in the show. Wesley Hunt, Mr. AKA Jim Crow, is dead. There is no such thing as Jim Crow. I digress. I'm not MAGA. I don't know what's on his. I don't know what's on his mind. I guess they not truly criticizing Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther King did have a part in this, so I partially blame him. Cause for blacks and whites playing with each other in the playground and all this stuff. And a little later on, he kind of changed his tune a little bit late, but hey, I digress. So this is the reason why we come out with the Wesley Hunts of the world, because he believes we are the world, we are the children. This Negro has lost his freaking mind. I hope and pray nothing happens to him, because if it does, I wouldn't be shocked at all. Then I wonder what his excuse would be then. Yet, this show is not about Wesley Hunt. It's about Trump and the 300 most egregious things he has done in his second term. But before I get to that, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you once again for all my new members for the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Thank you for my new members. Thank you for the cash apps, the super chats, or what have you. Thank you. Thank you for liking, subscribing to the channel. Try to get these things to you as best as I possibly can. Without you, there would be no me. So let's get into it. You remember the J6 insurrection, right? The ones that were storming the Capitol. Well, the police officers are speaking up.
January 6th committee, he is one of the officers taking his time and energy, and even perhaps having to sort of revisit and relive something many would rather not, because he is in the position of, according to his lawyers, having legal standing to fight this thing. And remember, he gave that moving testimony confronting the violence, the horror, the racism of all those people who Trump has now freed from prison and is trying to pay.
One woman in a pink MAGA shirt yelled, "You hear that, guys? This voted for Joe Biden." Then the crowd, perhaps around 20 people, joined in screaming, "Boo!" No one had ever called me while wearing the uniform of a Capitol Police officer.
Harry Dunn, that former Capitol Police officer, who's also now running for Congress in Maryland, joins us now. Welcome. We shouldn't even be here. You shouldn't even be having to spend your energy on this. but you choose to step up, and I think people understand the import of that these days. So I want to start on the kind of personal level, and then hear, of course, about everything else you're thinking. But when did you hear about this plan? What did you think? Oh, they're going to pay these people who did all that?
Hey, Ari, well, thanks for having me, brother. Look, well, let's be clear. This is a campaign promise of Donald Trump's. The pardons were a campaign promise, and he also flirted with the idea about them receiving payments. I think we were aware of this. I'm not surprised by the payments. I don't think I was surprised by, the attempted payments. I don't believe I was surprised by it. And I think also that's why we were able to move so swiftly with this lawsuit. Within 24 hours of it being announced, we were ready to go boots on the ground. We got on the phone with our lawyers, and we obviously, when you file lawsuits like this, you open yourself up to more criticism and all types of. It was like, no, let's go. We are on the right side of this, and we understand that it will be an uphill challenge. People have talked about standing. We do believe we have standing. We wouldn't have brought the case if we didn't believe that we could win it. But also on the North Star of this is we are right. We are morally right. The American people are behind this. This is wrong. This isn't like a GoFundMe account. This isn't somebody putting their Cash App information out there and requesting donations. These are American taxpayers' money that are rewarding and further, I think, incentivizing people that attack police officers and, frankly, the American people on January 6th.
You've worn the uniform. You've done the job. You went through that day. Do you think if this fund is not stopped, that it will make the job of being a police officer more dangerous?
Especially, so I equate what Donald Trump is doing right now to somebody paying a retainer fee for a lawyer. When you have a lawyer, you pay a retainer fee for them to have them on standby when you need them. The pardons that Donald Trump gave January 20th of 2025, that was a forgiveness. Hey, we forgive you for what you did in my name, the violence. We pardoned you. Now these payments, I believe, serve as a reward and also an incentive to say, you know what, look what they did, and now they're getting paid for it. Donald Trump has our back. You know what, if we stand with him, not only will he forgive us and we won't get in trouble, but we could potentially be rewarded for us. And we believe that's also some of the argument that we're making that gives us standing, because the potential people receiving these payments put our lives in danger.
Yeah, so let's go into the case. Tell us sort of, in plain English, what are you asking the court to do? Because, I cover this stuff. Sometimes the courts say, we got these strict rules. We got to go exactly by the rule. And then other times you go to pandemic, you go to, obviously, the insurrection, and judges have to be practical and say, well, what does standing mean if it doesn't allow police to at least, I'm not saying whether you win or lose the case, but at least to get into court and adjudicate this. Otherwise, this thing might not be reviewed in court at all, which seems ridiculous.
Doesn't it seem ridiculous when so many people, like in a world where we're so divided about so many issues right now? I think it's clear that people are not okay with taxpayer money going to reward people who attack police officers. And I don't care if that's people that voted for Trump, that still continue to support him. I mean, look at the pushback we're getting from Republicans. But as far as like the stand, so a lot of people know us and know me because I talk about January 6th. I mean, Ari, we're almost 5.5 years from January 6th, and January 6th is still front page news 5.5 years later. When does that ever happen in news? You know why? Because it's so unresolved. It's so, there's been no accountability for it, and the American people are pissed off. A lot of times when I'm talking about January 6th, I'm having to respond to the outrageous claims and the actions that this administration and this president is doing. I'm moving on, attempting to run for Congress.
Thank you for joining the live. Thank you for joining the live.
Fight for my state, Maryland's 5th congressional district. That's what I'm trying to do right now. But I have to take time out of that to stand up in this fight, to file this lawsuit, which we think, like I said, we have a good chance of winning because of, like I said, the death threats that we get. I mean, it just as recent as today, we just continually receive these threats and this hate, all stoked by the former president. And also we bring up some 14th Amendment challenges in this because we think it's illegal. They're providing comfort and aid to insurrectionists.
Oh, Thank you for supporting the channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Please support the channel. Let's get the likes up to 10 at least. Put yourself in that man's position. What do you think you would? Do you think you would be alive today? Nah. Yeah, just put yourself in a police officer's position. I know what it's like to be a peace officer, but it's not the same thing as being a police officer. A peace officer is just like a security officer that is practicing law. Only difference is he doesn't carry a gun. A police officer carries a gun, a taser, handcuffs, and everything else. Put yourself in their position. Put yourself in their shoes. Now I'm not saying now I'm not caping for all police officers, because I'm not a police officer caping type of dude. But that day where you had Proud Boys, Ku Klux Klan members, and everybody else storming the Capitol, defecating on the walls, doing all types of illegal stuff, and you're mad at what? I don't know why you are so mad. You took the country. I don't know why you're so angry. That is diabolical. That's diabolical to me. Why are you people so freaking angry? That is insane. You have the White House, you have the Senate, you have the House, you have the Senate, you have the White House, you have the Supreme Court. Why are you so angry? You want to literally turn this country back into what it once was, a pure white Christian nation. You just want a seat at the table. That's what you, well, I would say the 1% of yous want a seat at the table with your white sheets on. I'll give you a seat at the table. Just be real with it. You want a pure white Christian nation. And here I hear you complain. I hear you guys complaining, excuse me. I hear you guys complaining about Muslims, how they're not American. Excuse me? How are Muslims not American? They're in this country, right? The only thing about it is they practice their religion, not yours. This is what pisses me off. What did Muslims ever do to you? True, we have those whacked out Muslims that just need to exclude themselves from the earth, period. But overall, who the fuck are you to tell a Muslim what religion they should practice? Since they're here in America, who in the hell do you think you are? Y'all ain't shit to me. If I practice a Muslim belief and I like to pray to the east 10 times a day, who the fuck is you? My point is, stay the fuck away from Muslims. You have your own religion, Christian. Stay the fuck away from them. That's my point. They are here in America legally minding their own goddamn business, and here you come along. It's not right. They get practice their own religion. Look what they're doing in their own countries. You're in America. You got your own problems to deal with here in America. A rapist who's in office, right? A rapist who's in office right now. A dude that started the whole insurrection thing. A dude that literally is holding y'all hostage. Playing with your money. Playing with taxpayers' money. All those white farmers, y'all gonna have to deal with that. Being around back in the early 2000s and 90s, messing with little teenage girls, and you put them in the White House. Ooh, God don't like ugly. Y'all some ugly some bitches.
So I got about 45 seconds left.
Yeah.
There are people who say they're discouraged, it's exhausting, how do you even keep track? What works, nothing works. And some of them, respect, but some of them haven't been through what you've been through.
Yeah.
So I want to give you the platform tonight. What do you say to people who feel like that about fighting for democracy?
Yeah, well, I'm not...
The Trump administration is trying to contain the fallout from the president's latest corruption scandal, and it is not working. Outrage over Trump's so-called settlement with the IRS, which aims to hand over cash payments to insurrectionists, is roiling the Republican Party to the point of open revolt that is endangering much of Trump's policy agenda. The settlement, if one can even call it that.
You're right. Underage girls. Correct. Fucking with underage girls. Correct.
Because it wasn't approved by a judge or kind of by anyone really other than Trump and his personal lawyer, who now conveniently is the acting attorney general of the United States of America. This settlement is being sold as a resolution to a $10 billion lawsuit that Donald Trump, the citizen, filed against the IRS, an agency that Donald Trump, the president, has fundamental control over. It was announced on Monday by the Justice Department that is now run by Donald Trump's aforementioned own former defense attorney, Todd Blanche. The plan is that Trump would drop the $10 billion demand, while a $1.776 billion so-called anti-weaponization fund would be created to compensate people who claim that they were targeted by the Biden administration. $1.77 billion. Get it? 1776? The recipients of your taxpayer dollars could include the nearly 1,600 people charged, convicted, and then pardoned for their role.
Which I still don't know why to this day that black folks still celebrate the 4th of July. I would not be celebrating the 4th of July. It's been a long time since I celebrated the 4th of July. 4th of July, 1776 is where you celebrated your independence. Where the fuck have you ever been independent? When? You are insane.
In the January 6th assault on the Capitol, many of whom are reportedly already preparing their applications and anticipating major payouts. Again, I remind you, that will come from your taxpayer dollars. Perhaps Donald Trump asking Republicans to help him pay off the very people who sent them running and hiding for their lives in service of stealing the election for him was finally a bridge too far, because the slush fund has not gone over well with elected Republicans. By Thursday, the acting attorney general, Todd Blanche, I'm going to say this every time I say his name because it's super relevant, served as Trump's own personal defense attorney in 3 of the criminal cases that were brought against him. Todd Blanche was dispatched to meet behind closed doors with Republican senators to try and smooth things over. That effort failed spectacularly. It was described as a 2-hour blow-up in which dozens of Republican senators vented their anger and concern, according to the New York Times. But the blow-up was not contained to that one meeting. Many Republicans took their outrage public. Here's a sampling of what Republicans have said on the record about this fund. Senator Tom Tillis called it stupid on stilts and the definition of tyranny and a payout pot for punks. Former Majority Leader Mitch McConnell called it utterly stupid and morally wrong. Senator Bill Cassidy, who just lost his primary to a Trump-endorsed challenger, said that the American people are not concerned with, quote, putting together a $1.8 billion fund for the president and his allies to pay whomever they wish with no legal precedent or accountability. Senator Susan Collins said the fund is in real trouble, and it should be. The current Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who's still considered a Trump ally, said he's not a big fan of the deal. Senator Ron Johnson, typically a Trump loyalist, went so far as to agree with another's assessment that it was a galactic blunder. Senator Kevin Kramer, a MAGA loyalist and one of Trump's earliest backers, said the fund is politically unexplainable, end quote. Yep.
These are all Republicans that were loyal to him. And they talk to him this way. Because he knows he's a fucking thief. And he knows he's a fucking liar. Anybody want to just rip up their Trump card today? It's fine with me. I would rather have that than you come on my live stream bitching and moaning while you got everything at your disposal.
That's just Republicans in the Senate.
Crazy.
Balking at this particularly brazen bit of corruption. MS Now has learned that there's major opposition also growing among Republicans in the House. The Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick, a Republican from Pennsylvania, said, quote, "We're going to try and kill it." He's now leading a bipartisan effort along with the Democrat Tom Suozzi of New York to pass legislation blocking taxpayer money from being used for this.
And you still, to this day, justify this stuff. I don't get it. These are Republicans that merely kissed his ass. Republicans. And this doesn't tell you anything. This doesn't tell you that $1.8 billion is not going to be used, not for the American people so he can get this economy rolling again, but is used to fund people from the insurrection. Are we serious? Are we? Whoo. I wish people were honest. Seriously, I wish people were just honest and just say it out with their chest that they just don't like how this America has become a melting pot full of blacks, Asians, Mexicans, Hispanics, whatever you call them. Just say it out loud. I really would like for y'all to just be honest. This is no longer about politics. This is about power. This is about corruption. And all these motherfuckers is corrupt. All of them. But the difference is they don't care. Donald Trump does not care. He does not give a shit. Which makes everybody else not give a shit. So why not just come out and be honest? That's crazy.
As you can imagine, several lawsuits have already been filed against this fund. That includes a lawsuit challenging the legality of the fund filed by Harry Dunn and Daniel Hodges, two law enforcement officers who were attacked and injured.
Now they're planning on blocking the slush fund. Now they're talking about blocking the slush fund. We'll see how long that lasts.
On January 6th. Joining me now is one of those two law enforcement officers, Daniel Hodges. He's a police officer for the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department.
Another officer.
Many members of law enforcement that defended the Capitol on January 6th. He is here in his own personal capacity. He's not representing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department. Officer Hodges, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me on.
This goes beyond the capacity to explain. After all of the outrage of January 6th, after hearing all of these Republicans on January 6th and January 7th talk about how Donald Trump had to be held accountable, after Donald Trump's reelection and the pardoning of these insurrectionists, to now imagine that you and I are going to pay for some sort of retribution on their behalf is beyond the capacity of the mind to process.
Right. Yeah. People ask me, why I filed this lawsuit, and it's hard to find the words, right, to explain, because the whole situation is so absurd. Well, why should the United States government pay the people who attacked it and tried to, stop its function, tried to stop the transfer of power, wanted to assassinate the vice president, members of Congress, terrorize the staff? What how does it make sense that we should pay them for the pleasure that we all had to subject ourselves that day?
Yeah, so that's the one part that doesn't make sense. And then the other part, and I'm curious from your perspective, the other part is the way the deal went down, right? Donald Trump suing the IRS, then settling with the IRS, which he controls, using the Department of Justice, which he controls, and his own personal lawyer to do this. It doesn't feel like anybody who wasn't involved with Donald Trump was involved in the negotiations of this. Donald Trump made a fantastic deal with Donald Trump and organizations he controls.
Yeah, that's certainly what it looks like. This, as horrific as his first administration was, it was, extremely professional by comparison to this one. If this one's just absolutely full of complete loyalists and no one who will do anything to oppose Trump's wishes, no matter how absurd or corrupt they are. So that's what we're seeing here. $2 billion of American taxpayer money just goes to him without any significant, real, measurable oversight whatsoever.
So your lawsuit contends that the administration, in making this deal, has exceeded its statutory authority because it created the fund without the authorization of Congress. There's no one, there's no judge, there's no magistrate, like literally nobody oversaw the creation of this thing. Is it interesting to you that I just named all those Republicans in the Senate and the House who are objecting to this? Like, does that feel meaningful for you, or have you seen this play before and you know how it ends?
Is it meaningful? I mean, yes and no. It is meaningful in that they are actually saying something in opposed to Trump's agenda, but it's not because, what you have to understand is that they could stop this at any time. The Republicans in Congress have the power to stop this and everything else. They could stop warmongering. They could stop the insane, gas prices, food prices. Any form of corruption and terrible decisions they could end today, but they're not going to because they don't actually disapprove.
But we haven't heard this much criticism. I mean, we sort of heard it with the Epstein stuff. We haven't heard this much criticism. I'm curious about that. Why? I mean, affordability, the war in Iran, all these things. This one seems to have motivated a number of these Republicans. I don't know whether some of them are past their primaries or some of them got primaried out because they were on the wrong side of Trump. But something seems to be empowering Republicans to speak more strongly about this one. Do you have any idea why?
There it is.
It's hard to say. I would like to believe that it's just because how egregious the whole situation is, that because, so many Republicans were hiding in fear for their life, running away that day, that paying these insurrectionists millions and millions of dollars would empower them to commit further acts of violence. And that's something that they should all be afraid of.
Well, your lawyer, Brendan Ballou, who was a DOJ special counsel investigating
let's just call it for what they are. These insurrectionists are the Klan. Can we just skip all the nuanced words and just get right to the real of it? They're Klansmen. That's what they are.
January 6th cases made an interesting point. He said the primary risk is that this money is going to be used to fund paramilitary organizations that are loyal to the president. The financial support for violence that is going to be the most important thing. It is fundamentally new and different from, say, the Qatari jet. It is, right? Like the Qatari jet's weird and we shouldn't be taking it. And it's like, there must be rules about this. This is entirely different. This is literally this move to sort of encourage people who engaged in armed insurrection and violence against Americans' democracy and people like you who were fighting to maintain it that day.
Right. So, these people, there's only so many things that hold people back from committing these acts of violence, and that's fear of legal repercussions, which Donald Trump has already made clear they won't have because he pardoned them the first time and has made it clear he has their backs no matter what. It's ethical considerations, which they've made clear they don't have. And it's a lack of resources, which is going to be remedied if they get these millions and millions of dollars. They'll be able to arm themselves further, fund recruiting efforts, all that sort of thing.
$1.776 billion. Daniel Hodges, thank you for being with us today.
Proof is in the pudding. So we're going to see if this blockage and or not, because remember, well, I to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know how this is going to go as far as who is vaguely responsible for if they were to win the case. I don't know if it goes to a small claims. I don't know where this fucker goes. I just don't want them to get that money. Technically, he's gonna get the money. Let's just be real with it. Trump is gonna get that fucking money, bro. Trump is gonna get that money. And if he gets the money, he will have the ability to do more and more damage, and America's just going to suffer more. In my opinion, the problem is that they have been showing two different realities on every such subject, a situation that happened, that people stay divided even about that day. I guess you're correct in your own way. I see it a little bit differently, but I guess you're correct. Trump is destroying the crooked CIA operative, Venezuela, Iran, etc. Not a very friend. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Speaking of Iran, even though it's an ongoing theme of war right now, we're just gonna stay for the record, because we ain't gonna go round and round with this. He's just gonna go ahead and just blow up the country. That's mainly what he's gonna do. If he's want to do it, he's gonna want to do it. But if it happens, not only will he lose respect from America, he's gonna get his ass kicked by any and everyone involved. America is going to be in deep trouble. You can mock it wherever the fuck you want. I guarantee you, he's going to have a problem with China. He's going to have a problem with Russia. He's going to have a problem with Pakistan. He's going to have a problem with the rest of the Iranians who are going to be alive, who are still alive. Let's not get Canada involved. Let's not get Canada involved. Let's not get Cuba involved. It's going to be a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a fucking problem if he does what I think he wants to do. Y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm freaking playing? They already warned him once. They warned him when they tried to sneak a ship through the Hormuz. They already warned him. They already warned him one time. They warned him multiple times of him with his threats. Open the fucking straits. You remember that? Open the fucking straits. They already warned him once. It's like, you got weapons, we got weapons too. He wants to take up. He wants to take on Cuba. He wants to take over Cuba. He wants to take over Canada. He wants to take over Mexico. He wants to take over Iceland. And somehow Iran got involved. And now that Iran is getting involved, there are people in his cabinet that are telling him He's not going to win this. He's not. And speaking of young cats, because I know we got some young people in here.
34, that is adult, is the basic necessities of life, and young men in particular, those who powered Donald Trump to victory back in 2024, well, they're feeling a lot of regret over their vote choice. So what are we talking about here? Well, let's talk about what is right at the bottom. If we were building out the house in terms of the American dream, it is literally the ability to buy a home. And young people, well, there's not a lot of hope for them when it comes to buying a home. And these numbers have changed tremendously. Look at this. Okay, age 18 to 34, that is adults under the age of 35, will buy a home in the next 5 years. You go back to 2016, 2018, Gallup surveys, look at that. The majority, 53%, said they would buy a home in the next 5 years, those who didn't already own one. That number has fallen through the floor. Look at this now in 2025, 2026, just 29%, just 29%. That is nearly half the level, dropped by nearly half in just under a decade's time. No wonder young people are feeling so much frustration. Now, of course, if you're building out that home, right, in terms of what young people want, what Americans want in order to fulfill the American dream, well, it's not just buying a home, it's a good job. You go, leave the home, you have a good job. But young people at this point don't believe it's a good time to actually find a job. Take a look here, age 15 to 34. Say it's a good time to find a job. Now that percentage is just 43%, less than half. Less than half of young people say it's a good time to find a job. And look at this trend line. This trend line is going completely in the wrong direction. 4 years ago, it was 75%. Look at that. That's a drop of over 30 points in just 4 years' time. In 2019, back when Donald Trump was at the end of his first term in office, it was 77%. That's a drop of, what is that? That's a drop of.
Basically, he's fooling you. So I don't know why this is an issue. He is basically fooling you. All of my Canadians, eh? All of my Canadians, all of my Canadian friends, welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to your life, Donald Trump. Can y'all please come back to Vegas? Please come back to Vegas. Just please. Please come back. Canada said, F you. We're not coming back because of this crazy maniac in office. I can understand it. I get it. I understand it. I get it. He has alienated everyone. He has alienated alienated our allies, alienated people in his cabinet, alienated mostly American women. But he has no problem with foreigners. Oh, but wait. The 14th Amendment, that includes the foreigners, doesn't it? I'm so confused. But yet, there are people who want to get rid of the 14th Amendment, who want to abolish the 14th Amendment. How you going to, if you abolish the 14th Amendment, how you going to get those people in here? That is some crazy, insane stuff. Crazy, insane stuff. Everybody is singing up Sting Operation to Save America. But everybody is for America. Everybody is praising America, America. Muslims should be Americans, not a book. Should be a Muslim Americans. I was that close to burning the fucking flag right in front of this damn live stream, but this is a new house. I was gonna burn that son of a bitch right in front of your face. I was. Why ain't Muslim American? You should be Muslim American. You should be Black American. You should be rainmaking. You should be American. But yet, Americans run over other white Americans run over other white Americans and call that victory. You remember Carolina, right? Where if it was I think it was a Dodge Challenger who ran over a white man. Oh, excuse me, a white woman. Sorry, it was a white woman. Ran over a white woman. And for what? I think that was all Richard Spencer, too. That was all Richard Spencer right there. Richard Spencer, along with Charlie Kirk, are nothing but a bunch of white ringers. That's all they are. Oh, word, because Charlie Kirk is dead. Not saying that black folks had anything to do with Charlie Kirk's death, because it was a white man who shot him. I never knew who Charlie Kirk was until his wife spoke up, and I was like, who the hell is this girl? And Erica Kirk spoke up. And now Erica Kirk is being attacked by another coon, which we won't be mentioning this coon's name because she's irrelevant right now. So, what do we want to talk about? I'm starting to hate wrestling. Oh, breaking news.
All hell has broken loose as Donald Trump's top Republican allies in the United States and elsewhere are turning against him after his unequivocal, unconditional surrender to Iran. As one account notes, it takes truly keen political instincts to alienate your party's senatorial class just before selling out the U.S. to Iran and needing them to run cover for you. Top-notch stuff that was reposted by a right-wing guy named Eric Erickson. Now, we've heard from MAGA Republican senators like Roger Wicker after Donald Trump announced his surrender to Iran, after Trump promising that Iran would be the one that did an unconditional surrender. But Trump did an unconditional surrender and gave Iran everything they wanted, including $25 billion, control over the Strait of Hormuz, and that Trump has agreed he won't even talk about nuclear issues with Iran for another 30, 60 days. Here's what MAGA Republican Senator Roger Wicker says. The rumored 60-day ceasefire, with the belief that Iran will ever engage in good faith, would be a disaster. Everything accomplished by Operation Epic Fury would be for naught. Let me just fact check him.
So the 60-day ceasefire wasn't a 60-day ceasefire because you had MAGA nuts like the people in the chat, and you got this MAGA nut in Donald Trump not doing a ceasefire. Too confusing to me.
Right there. In fact, check a lot of this. We should never have been in this unlawful and catastrophic war at all, period, full stop. Donald Trump and Netanyahu are war criminals. They're genocidal maniacs. I'm just simply pointing out that Donald Trump promised a set of criteria that he said would show success.
Don't believe anything Donald Trump tells you. I'm telling you right now, don't believe anything Donald Trump tells you. He says the word obliterate, and they're merely firing rockets at American ships. They're merely firing rockets. So when you say the word obliterate, I'm thinking done, finito, cooked. Stick a fork in them. Do you know how big Iran is? That's y'all. Y'all believe in that hype.
And he's failed in each and every one of them. Ben Rhodes, former President Obama's speechwriter and deputy national security director, wrote the following: nothing was accomplished by Operation Epic Fury except putting the IRGC in charge of Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. Then we heard from...
Name one war that he stopped. Name one war. Just name one. I bet you can't name one war that he stopped in the last 60 seconds. And if you say he stopped the war, and if he stopped the war in between Iran and Israel a couple of months back, how come they're still fighting to this very day? What war has he stopped? Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, to all these MAGA kiss ass nut swallowing some bitches, do you know ever since January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump has done nothing but gaslight y'all? There is at least 300 acts of harm that this man has done in the last year and a half, ever since being in office. Case in point, the executive order froze, there should be freezes, all U.S. foreign aid for 90 days, halting, whatever that is, food, health, disaster relief. 2, executive order, quit Paris Climate Agreement, ending U.S. climate commitments. 3, executive order, restraining Schedule F, making 50,000 federal jobs politically appointees, basically firing 50,000 people. 50,000 fucking people. 4, ordering federal hiring freezes except military, immigration, security, public safety. 5, creating Department of Government officials, whatever that is, to dismantle DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. 6, executive order demanding every agent erase all DEI program staff, contracts, and messages. 7, Laker Rally Act force 10 detention of undocumented immigrants for minor arrests. Executive order number 8, executive order limiting birth rights for 14th Amendment, limiting birthright citizenship to those with at least one U.S. citizen or resident parent. Number 9, executive order suspended refugee admissions program for 90 days. 10, firing Department of Justice, DOJ's inspector generals and senior watchdogs. 11, revoking security clearances, which should be illegal. Revoking security clearances for public rivals, which should be illegal. 12, remove heads of Federal Bureau Investigations, FBI, and DOJ Division Investigation Allies. 13, I'm only going to read a few of these. 13, deploying U.S. Marines to Los Angeles for immigration raids. 14. Send 800 National Guard troops to Washington, D.C. Took over local police. And number 15. Ended refugee families unvilification process. 16. Ordering mass deportation without full court hearings. 17. Gutting asylum interview rights at the border. 18. Cut U.S. funding. Cut U.S. funding to world food programs. World food programs. Basically cutting SNAP benefits and all this other shit. Which I don't, well, whatever. That's your president. 19. Ban federal funding for abortion information abroad. 20. Slashing Medicaid outreach budgets. This dude's a trip. So that's 20. We haven't gone to the meat and the potatoes yet. I'll let you do your own research. We haven't even sliced. We haven't even took a slice of the pie yet. And I just read off 20 of these damn things that merely should get you impeached right away. Hey, beautiful chocolate. At ease, my queen. At ease. I'm just gonna take that and I'm gonna run with it. I'm just put it over here. These people see the truth. What truth? But these bigots will make up excuses for the truth, even if it affects them. They will shoot themselves in the head. Watch your lingo. They will shoot themselves in the head and accept it, and will kill someone else. Truthfully sad. Be a little bit more specific when you say the, so I or the chat won't be confused. Be a little bit more specific. He's like, start naming names. I don't care if you name names. Just start naming names. It doesn't bother me if you name a name. It does not bother me at all if you name a name. What are we currently doing about that over the horizontal hair? Never mind. Y'all on some other shit. But needless to say, I haven't even read half of what I wanted to read because of the simple fact that it's literally a lot. I mean, I can go a little bit further down the list. 21. Pushed blocked grants to shrink Medicaid funds to state. 22. Cut Pell grants, federal college and blah, so you know about the college grants. Number 23. ended DOJ civil rights enforcement in schools. So in other words, you can't just be black and you can't just be black and just be the only ones accepted in certain schools. You have to have whites come to your HBCU schools. 24 Hope grants to non-governmental organizations aiding migrants. 25 weakened occupational safety and healthy administration OSHA workers safety rules. 26 pulled U.S. out of United Nations climate funding. That's not good. 27 he's cutting everything. You know why he's cutting everything, right? Putting a little something in his pocket. 27 cut funding for Meals on Wheels. 28 ordering closure for migrant shelters run by NGOs. 29 reducing supplemental nourishment assisting programs, SNAP benefits. 30 cut funding for mental health block grants. Why would you cut the funding for mental health or block grants? Most of these people need that type of funding because people who come home from war need those particular grants. We could also increase corporate tax rates. I'm not going to even go there. Not going to even go there. You can't even pronounce what he's cutting. I refuse to talk to a Pittsburgh fan. That's just automatic. Y'all people make me sick. I refuse to talk to a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He's cutting funding wherever he is, including healthcare, nut, to put something in his pocket and to also pay his people he's basically kissing ass to. Israel, aka the Khazars. Where the fuck have you been? 31. Eliminating disability outreach programs in Social Security offices. Jesus Christ. 32. Stop federal research on climate change. 33. Approval expansion of offshore oil drills. We don't know what that's about. 34. Close refugee resettlement offices in multiple states. 35. Eliminating federal arts and humanity. I don't know what that is. 36. Removed environmental review requirements for pipelines. 37. Ending federal after-school program fundings. You don't want people to be. You don't want other ethnicities to be competitive. Because remember, he said that his civil rights were being violated. So if his civil rights were violated, he can just imagine white people's civil rights were violated. That's what he's proclaiming. So that's why he cut that funding off. 38. Cut funding. He's chopping it up. Cut funding for public housing repair. 39. Stop DOJ oversight of police department abuses. 40. Blocked new immigrant work permits for humanization cases. I'm going to tell you straight up that immigrants want nothing to do with you. They're here on their own accord, here on their own admission. Some of them do sneak in outright, fine. But on no circumstances do they ever get anything from federal. Nothing. They're here on good behavior, and they all work. Do we have a couple of knuckleheads here and there? Absolutely. And I can hear screaming heads going, why are you supporting immigrants? Because at one point in time, we were immigrants. Yes, we, Black people, African Americans, we were immigrants once. You know, the Atlantic slave trade shit. Cut funding, send them all back. What did they ever do to you? What did they ever do to you? I'm just saying, they come over here. Some of them are already here legally, and they make money hand over fist, minding no freaking business. What did they ever do to you? It's the same. It's something similar. It's the same similarity to Muslims, but never mind the Muslims. But you understand that you are damn near 55% of the population. Asians are wait, I said that wrong. You're 61% of the populations. Asians are 55% of the population. And you're complaining about what? Space? Just be honest. Can anybody in this chat room be honest of why immigrants should not be here? Can we totally be honest? Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you feel what I'm saying, put a thumbs up in the chat. If you don't feel what I'm saying, let me reverse that. If you don't understand the question of what I just asked, let me reframe it for you. What is the problem with immigrants, hardworking immigrants who come here to this country to work and pay taxes? What is your problem with that? While I wait for a decent answer, like, share, and subscribe. And if you like the video, please support the channel. I'm still trying to figure out why this is an issue. Come legally, that I just stated, they come here. Some of them come here legally, some here come here illegally. But let's not forget, I almost forgot, you don't belong here in this country either. Let's be totally honest. You don't belong here in this country either. The only reason why you're here in this country is because 9 ships currently have fled to America because the country that you were in was full of feces, dying from diseases. Some of you ended up in Africa. Some of you ended up in other countries. And some of you had traveled long distances to the Americas. There was only 13 colonies at that time. That's the only reason why you're here in the first place. So you accusing other immigrants of being here is quite insane to me. Let's continue. Where was I at? 41. 41. Ending school free lunches. Why would you end free lunches for kids? It's not just for the black kids, it's for the white kids. You goofball. 43. Cutting legal service corporation funding for low-income legal aid. Capitalists. Nothing but capitalists. Where was I at? 44. Eliminating America Corp National Service funding. 45. Reducing Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, pandemic. Why would you cut the funding for? Why would you reduce the center for that? I don't know. I hope y'all prepare for that virus. I hope y'all prepare for the virus that's here in America. Good luck with that. All right, 46. Approved decentralized bans in other countries, whatever the hell that is. No, 47. Ended DOJ voting rights enforcement. 48. Loosen child labor law enforcement. 49. Gutting Federal Trade Commission consumer protection staffs. And number 50, last but not least, because I'm not going to read the rest of it, it's too much. Removed limits on payday lenders' interest rates. Removing limits on payday lenders' interest rates. He just wants the money. This is a lot. This is fucking a lot. You don't look as stupid as you sound. Well, thank you. I thank you for the compliment. I would say, I'm gonna leave it right there. So, with all that I just read, you 1%ers who are in the chat right now who support Donald Trump until his deathbed, I have a question for you. How's your economy so far? How's your economy looking thus far? Looking great, right? You get that Doge check yet? Did you get that $5,000 Doge check yet? That $500,000 Doge check that Donald Trump approved of? Did you get that in the mail yet? No, because he stated that he doesn't care for war, he doesn't care for the people in the United States. He just doesn't want a weapon, a nuclear weapon, one in Iran. How does he know that these weapons exist? How does he know? Let's continue.
Lindsey Graham, warmonger. Lindsey Graham, he writes, if it is perceived in the region that a deal with Iran allows the regime to survive and become more powerful over time, we will have poured gasoline on the conflicts in Lebanon and Iraq. A deal that is perceived to allow Iran to survive and possess the ability to control the strait in the future will put Hezbollah in Lebanon and the Shia militias in Iraq on steroids. He then goes on to say, if a deal is is struck to end the Iranian conflict because it is believed the Strait of Hormuz cannot be protected from Iranian terrorism, and Iran still possesses the capability to destroy major Gulf oil infrastructure, then Iran will be perceived as being a dominant force requiring a diplomatic solution. This combination of Iran being perceived as having the ability to terrorize the Strait in perpetuity and the ability to inflict massive damage to Gulf infrastructure is a major shift of the balance of power in the region, and over time will be a nightmare for Israel. I guess Israel first for Lindsey Graham. Also, it makes one wonder why the war started to begin with, if these perceptions are accurate. I personally am a skeptic of the idea that Iran cannot be denied the ability to terrorize the Strait, and the region cannot protect itself against Iranian military capability. It is important that we get this right. Then you had Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz posted as well that he thought that this was catastrophic, that the outcomes would be terrible, and he said that you couldn't have a worse solution, to which you then had Donald Trump's MAGA influencers and people in the White House like Alice Brusewitz said, "Cool, Ted, no one asked you, bro. Stop trying to undermine the president and his administration." Cruz wrote, "I'm deeply concerned about what we are hearing about an Iran deal being pushed by some voices in the administration." And then in response to Trump official Alex Brusewitz calling him out, Ted Cruz goes, "Hush, child. The adults are talking. I'm not your bro. And young political grifters pushing Iran appeasement are not remotely helping the president." One commentator noted, "When you're having to tell Ted Cruz to shut up and be more obedient to Trump, probably not a great sign for normie voters." Then you had Mike Pompeo, Donald Trump's own former Secretary of State. He posted, "The deal being floated with Iran seems straight out of the Wendy Sherman, Robert Malley, Ben Rhodes playbook. Pay the IRGC to build a WMD program and terrorize the world. Not remotely America first. It's straightforward. Open the damn strait, deny Iran access to money, take out enough Iranian capability so it cannot threaten our allies in the region. Overdue. Let's go." More and more warmongering. In other words, then you had Stephen Chung, Donald Trump's communication director, attack Mike Pompeo, and he said, "Mike Pompeo has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He should shut his stupid mouth." This is Donald Trump's head of communications in the White House. This guy's the top communications person in the White House. "Leave the real work to the professionals. He's not read into anything that's happening. So how would he know?" I think the only thing that people know is that Donald Trump said, "Here's what we're going to do. Regime change. We're going to get rid of all the nuclear material. We're going to get rid of the conventional weapons that are a shield to the nuclear material, like the ballistic missiles and the Shahid drones," right? Trump said here, all regime change, all these things were going to happen, and none of them happened. And Trump showed that America's security umbrella in the Middle East was a complete and utter failure. And now, you have Donald Trump sycophants like MAGA Mike Johnson posting, "President Trump is the only one who could have gotten Iran, the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, to the negotiating table. We are greatly encouraged to learn of a peace."
I don't want to hear shit with what Mike got to say. He's a coward. Former Klan member. I don't want to hear shit what he got to say.
Deal in Iran is underway, and look forward to learning more about the specifics. Under Trump's leadership, our nation is stronger, more respected on the global stage, and safer than ever before. To which Eric Erickson, very right-wing guy, says Obama got Iran to the negotiating table. And boy, doesn't the JCPOA seem like a great deal? I always thought.
Thank you for those who are coming in. Thank you for coming in, and some of y'all are subbing in. I do appreciate that. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. Thank you for. I can't thank you enough for the new members. And if you like the video, please support it through Cash App or Super Chat.
JCPOA was a great deal. Iranian enrichment, taking the uranium down to under 4% enrichment, weapons grades like 90% enrichment. It had all these international mechanisms to ensure that Iran wouldn't get weapons grade, but could use for civilian purposes. There was the buy-in by the International Atomic Energy.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask y'all a question? Let me ask you a serious question. Why is Iran the only resource to a nuclear weapon? China has a nuclear weapon. Japan has a nuclear weapon. Russia has a nuclear weapon. We have a nuclear weapon. Doesn't Canada have a nuclear weapon? Don't we all have nuclear weapons? Yes, they do. Yes, the fuck they do. Yes, they do. Everybody has a nuclear weapon. The only people that I know, well, let's just look at facts. I might be wrong. Let's just look at facts. Facts over feelings, right? What countries? Oh, this is on point. It is on point. North Korea. I was wrong. North Korea. North Korea. Why did I think it? So China, France, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea have nuclear weapons. You know how many nuclear weapons they got? Jesus Christ! Wait. How many warheads do we have? Fuck! Shit! I didn't know that. Hold on, motherfucker. Hold on, shit. Oh, shit. It's not easy. Don't get kicked out the chat. Let me see. Damn, I did not know this. This says 1945, recognizing nuclear weapons state under the that's not what I'm looking for. So China has 600 nuclear warheads. We don't want that smoke. We do not want smoke. We do not want smoke from China. France has 290. India has 180. Pakistan has 170. Israel has 90. North Korea has 50. I didn't know China had that many warheads. Sad example of America. You can blame Trump for that. Well, technically, you can blame Ronald Reagan for that shit. South Korea, former nuclear armed states. South Korea, Brazil, Iran. How many total nuclear warheads? In total, 12,100 nuclear warheads are expected to exist worldwide, with Russia and the U.S. holding the vast majority. So I'm still looking for how many in total. Okay, Wait, I need to know who has them. I don't need to know all the other bullshit. Hold on. Okay, I'll just do this. How many warheads does the U.S. have? As of 2025, the U.S. maintained a estimate stockpile of about 3,700 warheads. That's all? That's it? 3,700? How many warheads did the U.S. have in fact? And this is facts, y'all. This is history. That's crazy, man. You got me interested. It doesn't even state nuclear weapons. I don't need to know the weapons. I just need to know the warheads. China clears 600 new warheads. Russia is thought to have at least 1,500 deployed strategies, and nope, that's not what I'm looking for. So I'm just gonna go based on that. Because none of it makes any other sense. Oh, and by the way, I voted, everyone. Did you vote for your local districts today? Yes, Barb, Lisa, I voted.
Agency, the IAEA, and there was all of these mechanisms. Like Fordo was turned into a research center. That's what you had there. Here, Donald Trump's base, after all of this, after the war crimes, after Manab, after Lebanon, after all the horrors that were unleashed in the world, after all of this, after Donald Trump saying, here's what I'm going to do, here's how we're going to win, Donald Trump got a deal that was way worse.
So you're a Trump supporter, ain't that right, Mark? So you are an advocate for rapists. Is that what I'm hearing? So you're an advocate for rapists? Good for you. Need your address to vote. What are you talking about? So you're an advocate for rapists. It's quite interesting. You're an advocate for a rapist. You're an advocate for a narcissistic person. Barb or Lisa, hellfire and brimstone, Mark, please. Just give him all the stones. Just put a stone up his ass. Just throw stones at this motherfucker. So you're an advocate for rapists. Literally, you too. Anybody who advocates for a Trump supporter needs to just vanish into thin air. Well, it's 1% of you who love this guy so much. Would you die for him? Would you die for him? Would you suck his balls? Would you kiss the back of his crunchy neck? What would you do for a person like Trump, who obviously called someone a bitch the other day? Called a reporter who simply just asking questions, called her a bitch. Called her a bitch literally to her face. Called the other woman is like, you're a disgusting person. Right to her face. No, I don't die for bigots. I don't die for bigots and I don't die for racists. You got the wrong one, kid. You got the wrong one. I didn't vote for Biden. See, people got that mixed up about me. I'm gonna tell you, so I can tell you to you once more. I didn't vote for Biden. So if you think you had a gotcha moment, think again. Why would I hate a rapist? Why would I hate a murderer? Worst off, why would I hate a murderer of his own country? The 94 crime bill. Oh, check this out. Barb, check this out. I had just read at least 50 other things that Donald Trump has done egregiously for the United States thus far. I don't know if you were listening or not. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again. I'm just going to I'll send you the link, send you in a whole bunch of details, but let's get into it. 51. Executive order stopped enforcement of Clean Water Act protections on wetlands. 52. Defunding rural health clinic grants. 53. Reverse rule protection coal miners. What? Reverse rules protecting coal miners from black lung disease? What the fuck? 54. Ended inspections for nursing homes with good pass ratings. Wow. 55. Improve logging in protection national forest. 55. Executive orders suspending refugee work authorizations. 57. Cut grants for homelessness prevention. We knew that was coming. 58. Removed funding from Head Start child education programs. Nearly you don't want black people to have their own chip. 59. Block CDC anti-smoking campaigns. 60. Closed veteran affairs outreach centers in rural states. 61. Eliminate DOD police escalation training programs. 62. Defunding housing voyagers expansions. 63. Gain oil companies new drilling leases in wildlife refuge. 64. Slashed global HIV prevention funding. I'll say it again. Slashed global HIV and AIDS prevention funding. You want people to die. 65, removed Maryland belligerent education grants. I got to read that a little bit better, but I'll skip that. 66, stop workplace heat safety rules. 67, improve sale of banned firearm parts. 68, cut renewable energy research funds. That's stupid. 69, executive order ending humanitarian parole for Afroline, whatever, allies. 70, blocked NGO disaster relief at border. That's 70. I haven't even gotten to 300. I haven't even gotten to 100 yet. I have not gotten to 100 yet. Let's talk about the billions Trump and his family have made since he's been in office. If I can get there, that would be fun. That would be great. Please support the channel. Please support the channel. You know you like the video. Let's see. Let's see. 71. Executive order ending special immigrant visas for Iraqi interrationists. 72. Cut grants to tribal health programs. 73. Blocked funds. He blocked funds for disability inclusive disaster programs. 74. Reduced Pell Grant ability income cap. 75. Ended DOJ investigation into prison abuse. 76. Reverse protection for endangered species habitat. What the well. 77. Improve offshore drilling near Florida coast. Why would you not? Oh, you did approve it. Oh, he did approve of that. 78. Cutting mental health services for federal prisons. Wait, let me read that again. This is 78. Cut mental health services for. Why would you cut mental health services for people in prisons? Why would you do that? Why the fuck would you do that? And you know what? I want this to be a lesson. If someone hits the grid and those people come out of prison, that's your ass. I'm going to be protecting my family. I don't know about you. This is crazy. You are police be too busy protecting their own families. You be shit out of luck and jolly well fucked. Because the money wasn't given to those that are in need. Dude, everybody's in need of some therapy. Everybody. How are you going to be in how is it a person who is doing their time in the middle of their sentences, serving their sentences, how they're going to get the help. How the fuck are they going to get any help? You just cut the program off top. That didn't make no fucking sense. Anyway, 79. Close public comment on EPA rules. I don't know what EPA is. 80. Stopped OSHA rules on workplace chemical exposure. Defunding elder nutrition programs. Defunding elder nutrition programs. Why would you defund that? Approved minor leave in Alaska. I could care less about Alaska. 83. We're on 83. 83. Stopped HUD fair housing enforcement. 84. Remove floor risk standards for new federal buildings, I guess. 85. Executive order allow border wall construction through tribal lands. You didn't build no fucking wall. 86. Cut grants for youth job training programs. That's the problem. That is the problem right there. That is the issue. If it's not for white kids, you're going to cut the funding altogether. That's some crazy work. Let me see. Where were we at? 87. Stop FEMA climate. Silencing funding, whatever that is. 88. Removing limits on menstrual emissions. 89. Closing legal aid programs for farm workers. Yikes. 90. We're on 90. 90. Cut SNAP benefits for college students. Cut SNAP benefits for college students. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the many gifts. Thank you so much. Thank you for the star. I love this star. 91. Remove safe drinking water. Remove safe drinking water funds. The smaller things. We're all taught that the smaller things matter. If you don't think that the smaller things matter, then what are you going to do when they turn big? Most of you sound stupid. And I don't know who I'm talking to, but if the shoe fits, wear that motherfucker. He's like, this means nothing. He's just cutting funding for unnecessary. Because all the Democrats know they know how to spend. What the fuck you doing right now? What in the fuck are you doing right now as a Republican? Spending. We're close to like $5 trillion right now. Close to that. So somewhere around 5 trillion. And most of it is on the war right now. And you're tripping up the Democrats spending. I'm an independent and I don't get it. Fuck Memorial Day. Yeah, that's right. Goddamn. Everybody give him Give him a star. Fuck Memorial Day, goddammit. Goddamn, you damn right. Fuck Memorial fucking Day. Where was I at? 92, reduce refugee admissions to near zero. This dude hates refugees. 93, it ended disability employment pilot programs. I don't know what the hell that is. Wait, let me stop lying. I do know what that is. I just gotta refocus that. 94, cut Pell Grants for incarcerated students. 95, close family plan clients receiving federal funds. He hates everybody who is not white. Boy. 96, removing air quality. I always had a problem with this fucking word. Quality. Monitoring, monitoring or removing air quality monitoring in low income areas. Monitoring in low income areas. Sorry for the delay. 97, improving pesticides spraying in wildlife refuges. 98, ending DOJ oversight of juvenile detention faculties. 99, slashing grants for special education teaching programs. And finally, 100, executive order stop family reunification for deported families. So basically what that is anybody who wants to come into the country to come see their family, they're going to have to do it legally. Because he's bitching and moaning about the birth certificate. That's why the 14th Amendment's in danger right now. Free. What are we freeing? So that's more than 100 things that Donald Trump has done, and none of it has anything to do, if you look down further into the list, has nothing to do with raising money for the economy, helping your economy get stronger and stronger and stronger. As a matter of fact, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. Somebody give me some money for my coffee fund. Put some money in my books for my coffee. I feel we've been up here for an hour and 43 minutes, and still we got Trump supporters. We got some gay-ass Trump supporters. Like, why you say this is like Trump? I'll tell you why. I will tell you why. Let me see. Usually I won't go back so far. I won't go back so far to the point. Wait, what? What's going on? Wait, what?
I'm going to bring you a little bit behind the scenes, which is not something I really often do. The news broke about a week ago that Colorado Governor Jared Polis granted clemency to election denier and Steve Bannon acolyte Tina Peters. So I actually held off on saying anything because I obviously have a lot of thoughts about that decision, but I've been trying to get Jared Polis on for an interview to discuss. and I didn't want to speak out before he had the chance to come on and explain his rationale. And I emailed.
Oh, I thought that was something about anything. All the 5 million Democrats that voted for Biden but didn't vote for Kamala, all racist. No, because you have mostly females who voted for Kamala. Then you have some black people voting for Kamala too. Now, if she runs this time, guess who's voting for Kamala? But I hope she doesn't, and I hope Jasmine Crockett gets a little feel for it, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean. So because I'll tell you, I would vote for Jasmine Crockett 10 times over. Lisa knows this. Barb knows this. We've talked about this plenty of times, but if push came to shove and there wasn't a gun in my head, I would definitely vote for Kamala Harris. I would definitely vote for Kamala Harris. I'm a female who voted for Trump. Why? What were you expecting? Let me ask this. You voted for Trump, right? Fair enough. How's that working for you thus far? Be honest with yourself. How is that working for you as a Trump supporter thus far? The dude has just admitted. Perfect? Oh, okay. All right. It's kind of hypocritical, but okay. So you don't mind him spending $1.8 billion on himself. You don't mind that. You don't mind that at all. Or you're just not a forward thinker like the rest of us. And you just keep babbling, all that Trump babble. You just keep babbling on. Just be honest. I have an issue with bitch ass shit, and I would like for especially white people to be honest. Just be honest and just say why you voted for him. I'm tired of all these excuses, and you always go back to the Democratic side. Democrats ain't got shit to do with Shinola. Ain't got shit to do with it. Gave billions to other countries. Name other countries. Let me see. Are you still talking about that stupid shit in Iran? Are you still talking about that stupid shit that happened in China? Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is definitely bliss. And oh no, I need. You know what? Maybe another female, can explain it better than I can. Maybe another female of my ilk can explain the shit a little bit better than I can, because I still don't think you're telling me the truth. I think you're just lily-gagging along. I think it would be better off for all of us if you would just tell us the truth, right? And we'll be better off. One would be better off if you just told us the truth. It's not about Republicans. It's not about Democrats. Just tell us the truth.
But the fact that we have a voice that ICE can racially profile anybody they want, the United States Why are y'all so angry? You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have a Supreme Court that is completely obedient to your president. They're willing to give him unlimited power. They're willing to say that he can take SEAL Team 6 and kill anybody he wants. They were willing to affirm that. They're willing to say that ICE can racially profile anybody they want. The United States Supreme Court has said you can racially profile Latinos based on their accent or the way they look. You guys have everything you want. You have legal racial profiling. You've ended DEI. You've ended affirmative action. You get all the best jobs even if you're not qualified. You can be a Fox Weekend host and be the Defense Department's Secretary of Defense. You can be Kash Patel and be a podcaster who wants to go to Valhalla and run the FBI as long as you're conservative. You have everything. Why are y'all so angry? What the fuck are you angry about? You've banned all our books. You've banned Black history. You banned the 1619 Project. You don't have to compete with women for jobs. You've chased them out of the military. You've chased them out of the senior positions in the Department of Defense. You've gotten rid of all the Black history in the museums. Museums are terrified. I have contacts that I'm talking to inside of the Interior Department, people who are running all of those spaces where you can go and see a Civil War memorial or something. The people who work in these places are terrified. They're afraid to tell the real history. The people who are working for the federal government are afraid to say the word Black. You guys have canceled Black scholarships. You're damn near, I guess, ready to get rid of HBCUs. Donald Trump just recently said they're not going to fund any minority-serving institution. Y'all have gotten rid of that. You've gotten rid of help for Black kids to go to college. What more do you want? What are you so angry about? I go every so often, I go and look on X Twitter. Y'all are the maddest people ever. Y'all are so angry for people who have everything. Y'all said you want your country back. You have it. The rest of us are sitting back and trying to keep our peace and preserve our peace while you all are running the country. If the airline crashes, that's you. That's you, the people you wanted to run the United States government. The FBI, y'all are laughing at them on X Twitter and saying that they look ridiculous. That's your FBI. They purged the people who made the FBI what it was. It's not what you wanted. You have your podcasters running the FBI. You have your friend from the real world running the Department of Transportation. That's what you wanted. There's no longer a gay guy there. The gay guy's gone. The gay guy's at home with his kid and his husband. He's not in charge anymore. The Department of Justice is what you wanted. It's your Justice Department that won't release the Epstein files. If you're mad about the Epstein files, you shouldn't be mad at me and the left. You need to be mad at Donald Trump. You all have the country. You run every red state like it's already Project 2025. You won't let women have abortions in Texas. They're literally dying of sepsis. That's what you wanted. You wanted women to have only 6 weeks to get an abortion in Georgia. You got it. You wanted Texas to be a petri dish and a laboratory for every right-wing, anti-Black, anti-gay, anti-trans idea. And you also got rid of vaccines. Every child in Florida is now going to go to school with kids who could give them measles, mumps, and rubella and COVID. That's what y'all wanted. You now have a paradise in Florida where you can get sick, cough on people, let them die of whatever disease you're carrying. It's almost like you've got the Pilgrims again that can come and cough on all the natives and take them out. That's what you wanted. You got it. You wanted Florida to be that. It's that. You wanted the United States to be Florida. It's that. But yet you all are still so angry. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand it. I don't mean to rant and rave, but I am genuinely trying to get to the bottom of what you all are so angry about. And I think I have a suspicion and I have a guess. What you all are angry about is that while you have gotten everything you wanted on the right, we on the other side won't give you love for it. We won't respect you for it. We won't hail you for it. We have you at the Oscars. We want to fet you. We want to make you guys, we want to wrap our arms around you. You want us to embrace you. You don't just want to run us and tell us what to do and tell us what to think and tell us what to read and tell us what history we can have. You don't just want to tell us what to do. You want us to embrace you. What you really want is to sit at our table. You're mad because while you are running the country into the ground, you're destroying your own farmers with tariffs. You're destroying your own farmers by taking away their subsidies that used to go with USA. You got what you wanted. They've ended the farm subsidies. These are the things y'all asked for. You got your big, beautiful budget. That's what you wanted. Trump gave it right to you. You got your permanent tax. You're so pissed because the left, the other side, we still cannot stand you. We cannot stand Christian nationalism. We don't want it. And because we will not say we want your Christian nationalism, we embrace your Christian nationalism. We like your Christian nationalism. We like you. Because we won't do that, you're still mad. But guess what we're going to keep on doing? We're going to keep on being moisturized and unbothered, and we're still not going to like it. We're never going to like Christian nationalism. We're never going to accept it. with it, and our squad is bigger than your squad at the end of the day. We have the Boricuas. We got the Mexican Americans. They done woke up. They said, "Whoo, Lord, let's go ahead and go with these folks." The spicy whites. The spicy white folk are with us. They're with us. Right? We got the Asian Americans who woke up and said, "Whoa, we better be with them." Right? Chinese Americans, they see you. Japanese Americans like, "You're going to do internment again? We see you."
Support the channel.
South Koreans
to
like,
the South.
we see you.
Ooh, the
South Koreans are going to
Koreans.
cry because Georgia's going to have a worse economy because you're not going to get to have the South Koreans teaching y'all to have those high-tech jobs. South Koreans are like, "Oh, well, sure hate it." Africa's like, "We're just going to do business with each other. We got bricks. We don't need you."
Tell it, girl.
The Caribbean Americans are getting together and said, "Yo, why are we fighting each other?" Caribbean Americans are like, "Yo, we with y'all. We invented hip hop together. Let's go off." And you're mad at us because we do not want to be. Why do you think they cover it?
Was cooking. She was cooking with fish grease. Oh my goodness, she was cooking with fish grease. Oh, like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Jesus, she was cooking with fish grease. Oh, this kitchen is too hot. Each time you utter the words, "come here legally," that also indicates that you are a racist. Let me tell you why. When you say those words, that ultimately that comes from when we were once upon a time were not supposed to be here, but we were forced here into this country. Most of us, anyway, even though some of us were already here. You literally are taking the one thing that you've been doing and using for centuries, decades, years, months, days, weeks, literally using that same whatever it is, the lineage of evil that comes from your mouth, all because some people want better. You don't pay the type of taxes they pay. They pay tax just as much as you do. And you're still bitching and moaning about people who got it better than you. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they don't have it better than you. The point that I'm making is they're over here, you're over there, you're looking over in their yard. And for fucking what? It is no different from a white man looking at a black man's farm and saying that he's got it better than me. Other than that, it wouldn't be about legal or illegal. They'll just be coming here and just be serving their own purpose. They'll be serving a purpose. Hell, most black folks need to learn from them. Most of these black people need to learn from the immigrants. Build your own communities or rebuild your own communities. I'm gonna find that flag and I'm gonna burn it. I'm gonna burn that motherfucker.
In the sun, we're about to activate. We've already activated, and I love this comment so much. I wish I could pin it. We've already activated. Look what's going on. Look at what's going on. Think about how blatantly racist everyone is on the internet right now.
White folks get tired of this.
And it's not just that one person. White culture in general. Probably, I would say most white people, when they hear the word equality, they fear that white people will be oppressed because brown, black, and indigenous people what's fair and just. That's just how racist we are. And we're so obsessed with the idea of not having equality in America for black, brown, and indigenous people that we don't have healthcare, that we don't have economic equality. We don't have reasonable gun laws. Our liberties are being stripped because we have a fascist, racist white supremacist regime in office because we are so scared of equality. We're so scared that black and brown folks might become the majority one day, that we had a black president, and now we've got to have a white supremacist president. That's how scared we are of equality.
Damn.
That's how racist we are as a people. Go to the fucking root of America's problems, the root of the white man and the white woman, their problems, and America and the world. If you think about it, colonialization, white supremacy, the mentality of white people today, not just yesterday, today, right now, the denial racially, the silence, the apathy, the continuous gaslighting, all that, it's ruined us.
Reverse racism.
It's ruined white people, and it's ruining our nation. And whose fault is it? White people's fault. Their inability to fucking fix their goddamn problem.
There is something so tragic about white America that if we could just do this one thing, I think the rest of our problems would disappear. Because our issue before racism, before white supremacy, is that we don't listen. We don't listen to people of color. We don't listen to their stories. We don't listen to their lived experiences. Because if we did, we would never have believed a word that came out of Donald Trump's mouth. Because we would have known that he was lying all along. At the root of white supremacy.
If that's the case, then how come he hasn't drilled here in America yet? If that is your premise, how come he hasn't drilled here in America yet? Why does he need oil from Venezuela? Why does he need oil from Iran? Why does he need anything from Cuba? Why does he need any type of support from Canada, New Mexico, Iceland? Why does he need that?
Supremacy is pride. We don't need to
excuses.
Listen. You can't teach me anything. But you know what comes before the fall? Pride comes before the fall. And we're about to find out what happens when you shut out the prophetic voice and you don't listen or pay attention to the warning signs. They told us that Trump didn't care about us and our cost of living. They told us that he only cares about himself. But we didn't listen, and now we're finding out the hard way.
I hear what you guys are saying about the whole don't shame MAGA back to the far right. Like, all of these people are...
we already watched that shit, so... But I'm just making a statement. Just making a statement. You can support him if you want, but I don't want you to come back later. I don't want y'all to come back later on and start complaining and say, you know, Trump is this and Trump is that. I mean, you already have 4 white women leaving his administration. 4. That should tell you something. But I digress. Oh, if you like what you saw, please support the channel, and you know, hopefully when it's all said and done, hopefully when it's all said and done, we won't have another shooting in Washington like we did just a couple of hours ago. Just saying.
The type that would say no.
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Right. No, but I mean, you see a beautiful woman, you want to have that. You're a guy who likes to have everything. Right?
Well, couldn't that be construed, however, as
conflict?
Yes.
I don't see it as a conflict.
It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
Well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting.
Right,
I want to make sure that
like
everything is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
That doesn't convince you. Maybe this would. Howard says is a piece of
Just a day after the Washington Post obtained video uncovered by CNN is just the latest uncomfortable statement Trump has made about his daughter. During a March 2006 appearance on The View, he famously said that they might be dating if they weren't related. Trump's currently named in a lawsuit accusing him of raping multiple underage girls at parties hosted by infamous billionaire pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, and has been accused of rape or sexual assault at least 2 other times. Just a day after the Washington Post
Howard, it was always embarrassing for me to walk in. It's too young. 30 is like a perfect age.
Absolutely. She has enough life experience.
Until she's 35. Too much. What is it at 35, Howard? It's called checkout time.
And you're probably, I would say, the greatest judge of beauty on this planet. In fact, I would create a TV show for you where all you did was just judge women.
Now, that may be the best idea of all.
It's a simple thing. It's a half hour, and we strip it out all over the country.
I would say I'm the all-time judge.
You own this pageant. You go over, you're meeting the girls. It's not one of them comes up to you and says, Mr.
There are a lot of aspects of her father's reaction to her. After she finished speaking, he joined her on the stage and thanked her with a loose hug and double cheek kiss. That might have been harmless enough, but then he reached down and patted her hips and behind as an awkward send-off, which instantly set the social media world ablaze with criticism and questions about why he might feel so free to reach for that particular area of his daughter's body. Like lover, like daughter. There have been a lot of women whose prior personal dealings with Donald Trump have spelled out scandal since he took up residence at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But none has
Donald Trump is panicking. It's not just his dark past that is surfacing. It's also the dark past of Ivanka that is surfacing. As you may know, Donald Trump had brought Ivanka around Jeffrey Epstein on at least one occasion. Also, Ivanka was modeling. That is surfacing. As you may know, Donald Trump had brought Ivanka around Jeffrey Epstein on at least one occasion. Also, Ivanka was modeling for something called Elite Model Agency when it was run by a very bad person named John Casablancas. I want to share with you, though, this is on Donald Trump's mind because during a White House Christmas party on Sunday, he brought up Ivanka. He saw someone who was right across from him at a Christmas party, and he stopped his speech like he saw a goat at the White House this past Sunday. Play this clip.
Of the two of those guys, the greatest. Then we have a man who, to me, this is the most interesting story. What do you look like, Ivanka? Has anyone ever told you that? I'm saying, is anybody? Could you just turn around for the camera? Does she look like Ivanka? It's the most unbelievable thing. So I didn't want to take a chance. I say, is that Ivanka? You look just like Ivanka, which is a great compliment, actually.
And I'd like to just share with you right now some of these photos regarding Ivanka. So you know this photo here, it's Donald Trump, Ivanka, and Epstein. You see that photo right there. Just the way Donald Trump would touch and hold Ivanka in these photos that I'm showing you sitting on the lap. I mean, you know, this photo, then there's another photo over here, them on like a bed together with her kissing his cheek. These are not, my opinion, you get different. These are not normal father-daughter photos at all. Really disturbing stuff right there. You know, and then we've have these videos of Ivanka that have surfaced. Here she is talking about being a model at Elite Model Agency. Here, let's play this clip right here.
My family has money, they can support me, but I model because I love to model, and it's something that I enjoy doing. So I don't think it's fair that they made me sound greedy about it and all, because I model because I love to model, and that's really all there is to it.
Here's how the New York Times in 1997 described her when she was probably 15 or 16 years old. They described her as wearing see-through white dresses that would turn heads. See-through white dresses? Come on, she's an underage girl at this time. She seems to have this modeling thing down, they write. There are the sexy outfits. Sexy outfits? She's underage. And then when you show up for an interview wearing floor-length see-through white dresses, you tend to turn heads. There is the denial that she exercises and the chowing down, eating a nice-sized lunch in front of a reporter, proving that she is not a wacky dieter. I want you to watch here as Ivanka looks at her childhood bed. This is from several years back, but watch what happens as she's giving this interview and she takes a look at her bed right here. Here, play this clip.
This was my bed. It's a little small for me now. Probably why I don't stay there anymore, but yeah.
What floor are we at?
We are on 68th floor. Not a bad view to wake up to.
And here's another video of her involved in modeling. Tell me what you think. Play this clip.
Ivanka is quickly becoming a star in her own right. Along with her editorial work, she's the new face of both the Mugler trademark and on ad campaigns.
People are always going to speculate, and people are always going to wonder, could she have done it without her parents being who they are? And I've always thought, in this industry, your parents can't really get you that far. It's more about the public opinion. And if the public doesn't like you, then
she has to go through letting stage. You know, she's really there, just starting. She has a lot of confidence, a lot of voice, and a lot of personality, and she's a hard worker. And if you start this place, you really can go places.
You got a beautiful team. Keep it happening.
Well, you know, the beauty of Ivanka is that she's really had very little rejection. Now, that's both good and bad, because at a certain point, perhaps she does have rejection and she won't know how to take it. But I think she's very focused, and I think she also understands how life works.
Ever wake up sweaty, freezing, or just uncomfortable? The temperature in your bedroom can make or break your sleep. That's why I switched to Miracle Made sheets. They're inspired by NASA technology and use silver-infused temperature-regulating fabric to help you sleep perfectly all night long. Miracle Made sheets are crafted with NASA-inspired silver-infused fabric that helps regulate your body temperature. Hot sleeper, cold sleeper, it doesn't matter. These sheets help keep you in the comfort zone all night long. Thanks to their antibacterial silver technology, Miracle Made sheets stay cleaner and fresher up to 3 times longer than regular sheets. That means no risk. Let's right here play this clip.
Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
I weren't happily married, and you know her father.
My daughter Ivanka.
Yeah,
she's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
No way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
Father.
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
If I weren't happily married, and her father.
My daughter, Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very.
Barb, hell's fire and brimstone, Jetson, please. I don't like pedals in my chat. I do not like pedals in my chat. I said it before, and I'll say it again. White people are sick. White people are some sick, disgusting freaks. And you have the nerve to tell me that the world is getting along a lot better without DEI and all this other shit. No. You can't convince me of a damn thing. Because if you did agree, you would disassociate yourself with this psycho immediately after I just played the one clip that I needed to find, and I found it, and yet we still have people here that think that a black man, if he had to hear or endure a white man or any other man of that matter saying that about my daughter, I don't think there'd be enough bail money for me. I would have pulled an ice cube. I'd have got my baseball bat and start swinging. Heads will roll. Hell, I might just Vitramite the whole situation. Hell, I might just pull a damn Homelander. I might just pull a Homelander and just watch as it just burns. You still support Trump after you said it? Well, that was back then. You still support Trump after he said that about his own daughter? What's the difference? She's 20. Zzz, laser eyes. You still support. You would. Mr. Vaughn, Eric, how you doing, buddy? I'm sorry you had to come in and at this awkward time. I'm truly sorry, but we have pedals in my chat room. Advocates of a pedal. Let's just say that. Well, the Bible states you don't read the Bible correctly. That's why I don't follow Christian ideologies. I read them and I understand them and I graduate from them. It's not my end all be all. You have to concede that you people are really, really sick. I don't know what else to tell you.
But the best body.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very.
Real estate or golf? Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
If I weren't happily married, and her father.
My daughter Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous. She's tall. She's almost 6 feet. You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
Here's a longer one of
He
Donald
said
Trump
that-
speaking about Ivanka.
He said that to a 10-year-old. He said that to a 10-year-old. He said that to a 10-year-old. Words cannot describe what I am thinking right now. But then again, I already support the channel. Cash at me $100 or super chat me $100. No, I'm just playing. Actually, cash at me $2 because I want to get some cookies. Donate to my cookie fund. I want some cookies. I'm good. I had dinner already. I just want some cookies. Y'all is fucking sick. Y'all are real sick. I mean, fuck politics for right now. Let's talk about humanity. You literally take shit from the Bible, literally, seriously. After the whole Sodom and Gomorrah thing happened, when the smoke was cleared, the two daughters of Abraham, I gotta read that Bible again. Well, I'm just gonna go. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So the two daughters, while he was asleep, they went and sodomized him. Basically incest. You literally take that you do basically what the Romans do, or what the Romans did. Who the fuck cuts out body parts? Who? Name one black man who has ever cut off body parts to a white child. Which back in the day I wouldn't even mind. Because you forget I am also Nat Turner. I am Nat Turner, motherfucker, so don't even test me. Who the fuck cuts up body? What black man do you know cuts up fucking body parts, you stupid motherfucker? Get this motherfucker out of my motherfucking chat room. Hellfire and brimstone this son bitch. Body parts? You forget a Sade Robinson situation when she got cut up by Mr. Anderson, who is doing life in prison right now. Doing life in fucking prison for carving up a 19-year-old black girl. What about Sandra Massey's case, where the officer shot her in the head 3 times? 3 times, all because she said, "I pray thee in the name of Jesus." You fucking hypocrites. I hope I never see you in my life ever again. I'm going to roast you each time. Many of black women who have gotten carved up by white men or publicly humiliated by white men. This is why often Ifa Tunde often says, maybe you need to stick to your own. But if you're happy, you're happy. Just don't come back to me crying and saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened to me." We warned you. You wanted the end result. Look at the end result. She was carved up, torso gone, head gone, legs gone, all thrown in the river, in the Michigan River. I think they were in Milwaukee or somewhere. Yeah, somewhere in Milwaukee. Mother and father still grieving to this very day. And you got the nerve to talk to me about carving up people? It was your people, your parent, you as white parents who gave away your daughters to this nut job. And then have her recruit other young girls to this island. And there was more than one island, by the way. I don't think P. Diddy contributed to that. He did some lot of fucked up shit, but I don't think he ever contributed to Epstein's evil lineage. He did do some fucked up shit and should be held accountable for his actions. Yes, indeed. But all the other stuff, he's innocent for. Sorry to tell you that. Don't talk to me about carving up kids.
Ivanka on The View, so you can see the slightly longer clip of it for yourself. Play this clip.
If Ivanka were my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it. Oh, it's so weird. Stop
You know what? You are sick.
Yeah.
Well, you're known for saying outrageous things, Mr. Trump.
Who are you, Woody Allen?
You know, and then I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Ivanka's mom, Ivana, when she died a few years.
Who's the sick pervert from Aerosmith, the lead singer? Anybody know the lead singer from Aerosmith? You remember Jerry Lee Lewis? You remember Elvis? I don't know. This is sick. This is sick. And if I was a Ventromite, I would Ventromite that ass. Steven Tyler. Didn't he marry his own daughter? What the fuck, y'all? Jerry Lee Lewis did the exact same shit. Elvis did the exact same shit. Ugh. Got another. It just gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's gonna get worse, worser. And if I had my way, whoo, Trump is a sexual deviant. He's something. An asshole.
Back under fairly mysterious circumstances as well. She was buried in the back lot of Bedminster. And this is what her grave looked like. You see all of the grass that has grown over the grave, at least when the Daily Mail got this scoop and this exclusive right here. Real horrible stuff right there. I'm also reminded over here about this letter right here that was written Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein. There must be more to life than having everything. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is, nor will I, since I also know what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think about it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be a wonderful secret. And again, I just think about, while this was all taking place, I just think about Donald Trump's background of who he was hanging out with and what he was doing around this time. And so, here's the video right here of Donald Trump and his Epstein connections, if you will. Here, play this clip.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have a problem?
She's got marvelous legs. You don't know whether or not she's got this part yet.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. Yeah. Standing there with no sweat.
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You're going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.
Well, there you have it. Let me know what you think, folks. Really sad and disturbing. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million, and thank you so much for watching.
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Support the channel. We got super sticker. Let's just say, thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gift. We didn't get any super chats, but that's okay. Thank you for the gift. And thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for the subscribers. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, let them do what they do. It just proves even further that my intuition was right. Y'all sick and disgusting bums. But your money's gonna go to a right place, deep in Donald Trump's pockets. It's gonna go to a good place, and it ain't gonna be in anything in the economy you ain't got coming. Gas prices are going to continue to get higher, because if they do go to war, and it's been 78 or 79 days and counting since this fake war has started, because we weren't even supposed to be over there in the first place. Yeah. So do what you do. Think whatever you want to think, because I already thought it for you. All you Trump supporters who still have the functionality to still support this man after what has just been played, there's a special place in hell for you.